Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Lovely to, well, I can't exactly see you all, but just thank you for joining me. My name's Sheraton, and this is my channel, and it's show in the end. Um, Now tonight, I really liked last week's tarot draw because sometimes I can go on for ages because, yeah, I talk a lot. But also, it didn't last as long, and I felt that it was more to the point, more succinct. And I'm hoping that tonight's show will also be in the same vein. I would like it not to last as long as some of my other pulls have lasted. And I'd like it to be really straightforward and easy for people to engage with, because sometimes watching a video for like an hour and a half, that takes a lot out of your day. So a 30-minute broadcast or thereabouts, it's much less of a chore. So let me get to it. Now, tonight's question is: will benefits in the UK rise in line with inflation? Now, in the UK, we've got a lot of things going on at the moment. We have our new Prime Minister, the first non-white, non-Christian Prime Minister that this country has ever seen. I understand that our brothers and sisters in India are made up about it, and I am with them on that level, because um, coming from my background, yeah, I think it's great that there's a non-white prime minister for the purpose of posterity. I think it's very positive, but not necessarily the first non-white first minister in the UK. I believe that I know that the Welsh, their first minister, they also had a black or mixed race first minister in Wales. And I believe, and I'm not 100% sure because I have to be honest, I don't pay that much attention to Irish politics, and maybe I ought to. But I believe that maybe Ireland had one too. If not mixed race, then clearly not of purely Irish descent. So that was, I think they had one first, but never mind. The point is that, yeah, it's a nice thing. It's nice. Does it mean that the country's less racist? Unfortunately, there are racist elements within this country at all stratas of society, within all classes. In this instance, I believe that, and this is just my personal opinion, all of this is allegedly for entertainment purposes only, and just opinionated. But I believe that for British people generally, especially for wealthy British people, they're not so concerned at your racial background. They're concerned as to whether you have money. That's their primary concern. Do you have money? Are you successful? Did you go to the right schools? Those are the things that they care about. The color of your skin, if you're successful enough and you've got enough money, they don't care. But anyway, yeah, so there's that. So tonight I'm shuffling these cards as I'm talking to you, and I want to focus tonight on, will benefits rise in line with inflation? If we have enough time, I might also look and see if Suella Braverman is going to last as Home Secretary in Rishi's cabinet, because that woman, oh my gosh, psychologists would have a field day with her if they're not already. So, will benefits rise in line with inflation in the UK? Will benefits rise in line with inflation in the UK? So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9 and 10. So today I am using my Game of Thrones tarot. This is what I generally tend to use for actually, this is what I generally tend to use for politics. Okay, now I'm also going to use my Rebel Oracle deck for tonight. So let's see. Right, Rebel Oracle deck. Will benefits rise in line with inflation? Will benefits rise in line with inflation? Okay, right. I'm being called to this one and this one. Oh, that one wants to pop out. Okay, I'm having that one then. Yeah, go on then. Might as well. Right, let's see what that has to say. And then for a more esoteric kind of tilt on things, I think I might actually use this as a final outcome. So I'm going with the Sacred Destiny Oracle as a final outcome. Anyone who's watched my videos before, they know that I like to use quite a few decks when I'm doing my reading. I feel that it helps me. Oops, that one wants to jump out. I don't know if it's just me not being able to shuffle. All right, no, that one's for me. Right, let's see. Okay. I'm really rubbish at shuffling cards, you know. I have to say, I think it's interesting that, like, I have to work with the cards, and yet I'm terrible at shuffling them. But maybe I'm not alone. I don't know. Anyway, all right, let me try it this way. Let me try it the other way. Okay. Will benefits rise in line with inflation? Will benefits rise in line with inflation? Right. And this will be a final out card. I just need one card. Yeah, you want me to go over here, don't you? See that one? That one. That one. All right. This is the card. Right then. Right. Let's see. The cards have it. The cards have it. If you are from the UK, then you get that that saying. It's when they have a vote on the floor of the Commons and the Speaker announces who wins the vote. They say the ayes have it or the noes have it. So anyway, the cards have it. Okie dokie dokie doodah. Let's have a look. See, shall we? Oh. Oh my days. Oh my days. What do we have here? Covert skullduggery. Why am I not surprised? Oh. That's interesting. So we've got covert skullduggery. In other words, the Tories being Tories. And that's crossed by Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is normally seen as nurturing and supportive and loving. Let's see what else is here, because that might not actually be what it is. Ooh. Damn. Sugar. Okay. Okay. Right. Well, you know, this is asking about money. And so far, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4 money cards. 1, 2, 3. 3 spear cards. Okay. And 2 cards of cups. Let me just double check and make sure I've gotten that right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Okay. Right. It's going to be rough, folks. It's going to be rough. Okay. Well, I like to check because I'm that way inclined and I don't like being wrong. If I'm honest, I don't like being wrong. It's not my favourite thing to be. I like to be right. Mm. Okay. Well, right. Okay, as I said, first card, covert skullduggery. I want to say, but it's spears, not swords. Swords, I'm sure. Sometimes I forget, well, anyway, as I said, um, I believe that 7 of Wands, and it's definitely wands, not spears. It comes up differently in this deck. Yeah, competition and conflict. Yeah, competition and conflict. Yeah. Okay. I asked the question, will benefits rise in line with inflation? Well, I still see this, even though it's spears and not swords, because I was reading it as swords. I don't know, there's something about this deck. This is a person being backed into a corner and they're trying to fight their way out. The odds against them are overwhelming. So they're holding their ground. They are holding their ground. And they're trying to fight off competition and conflict. So in this instance, I would say that they are reluctant, and everything I've heard from the government so far has led me to believe that they are reluctant. They don't want benefits to rise in line with inflation. They want to hold to that point. They want to stand their ground. However, this is crossed by the caring and nurturing mother. This is crossed by the realization that if they hold their ground and they don't raise benefits in line with inflation, that it's going to be incredibly damaging, well, for the country, not that they really care about that, but for themselves. So those are the two situations at hand. Those are the two drives, the two motivators in this situation. Now, in order for them to sanction a benefit rise, they're going to have to put in the hard work. It's going to be hard graft. It's going to be an uphill struggle. In fact, I would say it's going to be an uphill struggle to even get them to consider it. Now, in the past, when there's been issues where people have been really suffering financially, and this is in the recent past, because Conservatives don't normally act like this, but they released money. There was new money, there was funds available. And not just through the furlough scheme, but also the assistance with the cost of living crisis. So we got some money out of them. And also we got some assistance. There were other schemes as well. So there was the whole council tax rebate scheme. There was the money for the cost of living crisis. And there was the grant, or should I, not the grant, but anyway, the allocation of £400 on every account holder in regards to fuel poverty. So there was that assistance. Now, the reasons that they gave for doing the things that they did was that they said it would be very difficult to make any changes to the amount, the funds allocated for benefits, to increase those funds. So the quickest and easiest way for them to get around that was to make sure that every household in the country had an allocation of an extra £400 this winter. So that's what they did. However, this cost of living crisis, especially in regards to energy and fuel, so we're talking about gas and electricity for the domestic market, this crisis could go on for another 2 years, which is why, and I believe in giving credit where it's due, although I don't necessarily like the way she went about it. But this is why when Liz Truss came out and she said she's going to put a cap on domestic energy for £2,500 a year for the average household, that alleviated to some extent people's concerns about how they were going to pay their bills, because they were forecast to go up to 5,000, maybe 5,500, maybe £6,000 a year for the average household. Now, I can tell you, quite frankly, being a person who normally paid no more than £50 a month, now having to pay £120 per month for my electricity, that hurts. Having the allowance that the government gives us for £66 a month, yes, my electricity has still gone up, but it's gone up to a level I can manage because they've taken £66 a month off my bill. And as much as I don't, Liz Truss was a disaster, that was not the worst thing she did. The way she went about it was terrible, because it meant that it was going to cost the taxpayer so much more money than if they had done other things or taken other measures. But it's done. Trouble is, Rishi's come in now and he's like, that's way too expensive. We can't afford it. We can do this for 6 months, and then that will give us enough time to work out what we're going to do about the energy crisis and the cost of living in regards to domestic energy bills. That should give us enough time to come up with a plan that will cost significantly less. And one of the things I believe they are looking at is a windfall tax. So, there has been funds allocated towards those who are less well off, as well as to all the domestic, every household in the country. So that's what that Ace of Coins is about. However, I asked the question, will benefits rise in line with inflation? And I've got Ace of Swords. Now, I see aces kind of like a yes card. However, swords are about mental acuity and communication. I'm going to take this as a yes. The reason I'm going to take this as a yes, as I said, starting off, we have competition, conflict, standing your ground, crossed by the nurturing, loving mother. Underneath it, we have hard work, okay? And that's underneath it. I don't know if you can see that, but you've got the hard work here. But on top of it, crowning the reading, we have Ace of Swords. I'm going to read this as a yes, because in my mind, the Ace of Swords is kind of like, even though it could mean bad news, in this instance, I ask the question, the Ace of Swords is the one crowning the reading, and it's coming above hard work, which is at the base of the reading. I think that it's a yes, but let me continue. Now, this is a yes to the question, will benefits rise? Yes, they will. Will it be in line with inflation? In the immediate future, I have a Page of Pentacles. Pages are messenger cards. They always bring a message. I am not 100% sure if the benefits will rise, if all benefits, because I said benefits general, if all benefits will rise in line with inflation. Some will. Pensions will. The basic pension, the state pension will definitely rise in line with inflation. The triple lock is going nowhere. The triple lock is staying in place. But the other benefits, I see them going up, but I do not necessarily see them going up in line with inflation. I would say, I would say that it's likely that they might put it up by 5%. For it to be a definite, absolute yes, I would expect to see maybe the Sun card. I would expect to see the Ace of Coins, but I got the Ace of Swords. So anyway, let me continue. Now, in the mind, I have the Ace of Coins here. This is giving me apprenticeship vibes. and it's right next, well, almost next. It's slightly across because I'm doing a Celtic cross here. So it's slightly across from the hard work card. You see, this is the hard work card, and this is the apprentice card. So I'm getting the impression here that it's going to be, they're actually going to sit down and work on this. They're actually going to sit down and work on this. They're going to hammer something out. I think they're coming to the realization that they can't cut people's money. They want to, but I don't think they can. But let me just double check the next card for the environment, because the environment is very, very important. And it tells me that there's a loss and a disappointment. Okay. Loss and disappointment. That don't sound good, peoples. That don't sound good at all. That sounds terrible. Sorry, I don't know where that American accent came from. I don't know. Maybe I'm hearing getting vibes from my book club peeps. I don't know, but it sounds like something at least one of them would say. So, man, that don't look good at all. It looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. Mm-mm. Another interpretation of this card is the glass is half empty. But that also means the glass is half full, because, two halves make a whole. So the glass is half empty. That's what I mean when I'm looking at this page. This page is telling me that there's some money coming, just not as much as you would like. So there's disappointment. But things are going to move super quick, super fast. Super, super, super fast. There's going to be a lot of hits. There's going to be a lot of hits. But yeah, a lot of hits and things moving super fast. Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's going to be a U-turn, love. There's going to be a U-turn. Okay. That's why he's turned up again. Okay. So we have them working on something, putting in the hard work, the apprenticeship, the hard work, and they're working on something, right? So in their minds, they're trying to work out, they're not building up, but working, understanding. But being Tories, they're like, we don't want to have to work too hard. We don't want to have to understand too much. So people will feel disappointed. And that card comes right next to the ace, the page of coins. So there's a disappointment, right? And the loss. And people are like, we thought you were going to help us. Now what are we going to do? Now I've got to find an extra £66 every month to pay my electricity bill. I don't know what I'm going to do. People are going to totally lose their shit. Excuse my French. She's going to hit the fan real fast. People are going to go nuts. I have a funny feeling that this is when don't pay will kick in. Once that £66 is gone from everybody's energy bill, those who have the least amount of money are going to go nuts. And they're going to be like, you know what? I'm joining the Don't Pay campaign. It's going to happen very fast. And I think the government's going to have to U-turn. Why do I say this? This is my Rishi card. Now, some people might not see him as the emperor as yet, for reasons that, although he has a lot of support in the party, there is a very loud, delusional faction of people who are called the ERG. They represent a part of the Tory Party that are rabid Brexiters. They represent the people who are so filled with ideology that they cannot use their rational minds to actually witness objective reality. They're so carried away with ideology that they cannot make a rational and pragmatic choice. These are the ERG. But Rishi's going to get control. He'll get control of the situation. I think this is a U-turn. I think I'm seeing a U-turn. I'm seeing a little bit of money come. People thinking maybe they've done enough. And then disappointment. And I think the disappointment in the environment kicks in April. Once the £66 has run out. Because once that money runs out, for the poorest people, the ones who are on benefits, it's going to be a real stinker. And it's going to kick up, I believe, the Don't Pay campaign. And they're going to have to do a U-turn. They're going to have to do something. All right. And this was at the bottom of the pack. A Page of Cups. So this is a message of support. I believe this message of the support may very well come from the Don't Pay campaign. Right, so what does my oracle say? First one, don't take 12. Take 1. Okay, maybe 2, and then move on. You are a badass. Act like it. Who's this for? Can you see this? Go see some shit, do some new things, talk to people cooler than you. Well, Rishi is going to have to act like a badass. When it comes to the hard work that needs to happen in order for us not to completely destroy our public services, I suppose one could say Mr. Hunt will have to reevaluate do some new things instead of thinking that he can push through austerity 2.0 and talk to some people to get his economic theory up to date. Because if he thinks he's going to be able to do the same things that he's always done before, he has to recognize this is a new world. It's not 2010. There's nothing left to cut. You're going to have to do some things. He's not going to be able to take everything off the table. But he'll take a couple things off the table and have to be at peace with that. I suppose that begs the question, is he even going to still be Chancellor then? All right, so my final outcome. Oh, inner peace. What's this all about? Where's the thingamabob? Right, let me have, oh, here we go. Here's the book. Let's try to find out what that's all about. No, I'm not going to. Right, okay, let's have a look in the book so I can wrap this up. Let's have a look, see. Inner peace, inner peace, inner peace. Okay. Simply sitting next to a lily pond, watching the dragonflies soar overhead and looking at the luminous lily pads floating gently on the water, whilst their translucent flowers open their petals to the heaven, can fill one with the sense of profound and everlasting peace. Lilies growing in many countries and have been given a wide range of meanings. However, one enduring image of the lily is the notion that out of the darkness and mud arises a thing of immense beauty and grace. No matter how much darkness there has been in your life, you can rise in enlightenment and profound tranquility. The message here: inner peace is your birthright. Tranquility occurs when you realize that your life is unfolding according to divine planning. Serenity isn't something you have to work for or search for. It already exists within you. To find this inner peace, simplify your life. Spend time in nature and listen to the message of your soul. True peace transcends fear and connects you intimately to the Creator. Breathe deeply and fully, knowing that all is well. This says to me, we are going to go through some rough times. But I guess it comes down to the old British saying, keep calm and carry on. We're going to be pushed, people. We're going to be so pushed. But we cannot allow that to break our spirits. We're going to have to dig deep We're going to have to build resilience, both as individuals and as families and as communities. The difficulties we're going through now are going to end up, if we allow them to, they will end up drawing our communities and our families and our found families, because not everyone who's family in your life is family due to blood. They're family due to people that you've chosen. But we're going to draw together. We're going to have to draw together and find our serenity and build our resilience. Life isn't just about what you have in a material sense, it's also about what you have in an emotional sense. It's about your connections and relationships with people. Listen to your inner voice. Listen to the message of your soul. There are things that you will struggle to have and difficulties that we are all going to go through. But if you choose peace, it will transcend the fear, and you will feel a connectedness to the other people in your community, in your family, in your found family. We'll pull through this. We will pull through. And we will do so much better if we pull through together. Okay, people. Thank you so much for watching me tonight. I really appreciate it. I've gone over my time by 17 minutes. Why is no one surprised about that? But anyway, I am still Sheraton. This is my show in the ends. If you like this reading and what I do, please like, please share, please subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, you can contact me at showintheends@gmail.com. So my email is showintheends@gmail.com for your own personal reading. Whenever I do a reading for someone, I never charge them for my deliberation over the cards. You are only ever charged for the time I open my mouth and I speak. And not just chat, I'm talking about giving you advice on what the cards are telling me. Also, for first time clients, I will not charge you that. I will not do your reading for you for 30 minutes. You will get 45 minutes. So you get an extra 15 minutes that you do not have to pay for. I charge £30 for a half-hour reading and 75 for an hour reading. So if you would like a reading with me, you can find me at showintheends@gmail.com. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, whenever that was, to spend time with me. And I bid you good night.